I took pre-workout for 400 days. I used 28 different brands. Some pre-workouts I absolutely loved. Others, I actually got pretty sick. Throughout the process, behind the scenes, I learned so much about what makes a high quality pre-workout and what to watch out for. I want to highlight my results and experience, share some key lessons if you're new to pre-workout, and explain whether taking pre-workout long-term was worth it. My biggest takeaway along my pre-workout journey was that even the best products don't compensate for a lack of training and nutrition focus. I made the most significant progress when I had a clear training goal and a proper program and plan to get me there, regardless of which pre-workout I was taking. During the 400 days, I trained for a half marathon, did a fat loss phase in preparation for my wedding back in June, and did a bulking strength focus program right before that. While each supplement company promises that their products are the best, most innovative, and will be the most effective at helping you reach your goals, consistently really is the key. That being said, pre-workout supplements definitely help me stay consistent. That is the most important thing here, guys. There were days when I didn't feel like going to the gym, especially when I was getting up at 6 a.m. in the dead of winter when it was cold and pitch black outside in Canada. The energizing and mood boosting effects of pre-workout were enough to get me up and going, and by the time I got to the gym, I was in a much better place and ready and excited to work out. I believe that pre-workout not only helped me reach my goals, but also helped me surpass them in ways that I wouldn't have been possible without it. Let's now chat about the main reasons to take pre-workout. If you have taken pre-workout before, you might already be familiar with some of the experiences I'm about to get into. If you're a complete newbie, let me break down some of the main effects I felt right after taking pre-workouts that you might too. Starting with energy. This shouldn't be a surprise since most people looking for a pre-workout supplement are doing so to increase energy. What you may not know is that there are different kinds of energy that you can experience from a pre-workout. The first one I call is the mental energy, which is feelings of alertness, going from being tired to awake. Almost all pre-workouts contain caffeine, anywhere between 100 to 400 milligrams. For reference, 1 cup of coffee at home contains just shy of about 100 milligrams. The second type of energy is the physical energy, which I noticed the most when taking caffeine plus other ingredients as well. On days when I took pre-workout, my rating of perceived exertion was always lower than on days when I didn't take any pre-workout. With some pre-workouts, notably the 𝗪𝗏𝗪 and 𝗪𝗏𝐿, I had such great stamina that I had to go back and double check my pre-workout notes to ensure I was lifting the correct weight. My workouts felt nearly effortless, and I wanted to do extra sets at the end because I felt like I hadn't challenged myself enough. Some key ingredients that you may want to look for to boost this sort of energy include cordyceps, peak ATP, betaine, or carnitine. Let's now go into mental focus. Mental focus is one side effect I like to evaluate more than energy. I tried some pre-workouts that really stood out for providing a mood boosting mental focus that had me wanting to stay in the gym longer after I completed my prescribed workout. Legion Pulse was actually the very first pre-workout that I noticed this effect. The first time I tried it, I finished an intense weightlifting and HIIT workout and then started rearranging boxes and building shelves from IKEA in my basement before realizing that I'd been down there so long I was going to be late for work. To this day, it remains one of my most memorable experiences with pre-workout. I felt very similar experiences with both 𝗥𝗏𝗀 and 𝗥𝗏𝗀. Not every product will have ingredients to boost mental focus, but some common ones include alpha-GPC, dendrobium, agmatine, and DMAE. Now let's get into pump. The muscle pump is where the muscles appear to be bigger within minutes of starting your workout. Many pre-workouts will include ingredients called nitric oxide boosters like citrulline, which enhance blood flow to the muscles. This is personally my favorite and the main reason I take pre-workout. A few products fell flat for me overall, like C4, Mr. Hyde, Alani Nu. There were also a few products that stood out to me in terms of pump, like Gorilla Mode, Legion Pulse, and Rec. Most pre-workouts now have almost identical doses of nitric oxide boosters, so some of the biggest factors affecting pumps will be lifestyle or dietary related. The most common pump ingredient is citrulline, but you may also find arginine, beetroot powder, or some patented ingredient like nitrogen or S7. Let's now get into, did I experience any negative side effects from taking pre-workout long term? The first one, skin tingling. My first encounter with pre-workout was a surprising one, as I had no prior knowledge of the skin tingling effect attributed to beta-alanine. Even as an experienced user now, I've observed significant variations in the strength of this effect among different brands. Despite my first few times, I've come to appreciate it as a signal that the pre-workout has kicked in and is working. However, I recognize that others may find it distracting or unpleasant. Secondly, post-workout crashes. In my experience, one of the major concerns with potent pre-workout supplements, especially those packed with 300, 400, 450 milligrams of caffeine, which I would not even take, is the potential for a post-workout energy crash. Throughout this 400-day challenge, I typically began my workouts at 6 a.m., then going into my full-time job and sometimes even doing cardio after. With such packed schedule, I couldn't afford to feel mentally foggy or fatigued shortly after my workout. Surprisingly, I did encounter crashes with most pre-workout supplements that I tried, a testament to the efforts of supplement companies in formulating crash-preventing blends. Another one happens to be upset stomach. The most common negative side effect I encountered with pre-workout supplements was an upset stomach, and you may have experienced this multiple times as well. The severity varied depending on the product. Some caused mild cramping or bloating, which usually subsided quickly, while others left me feeling uneasy for hours. Certain products like Pre-Caged and Cage Elite included intense nausea, particularly during cardio sessions. I even had to stop mid-run during a marathon training session because I feared I might become sick. Additionally, some pre-workouts cause urgent trips to the bathroom, forcing me to spend valuable workout time waiting for the effects to pass. Another side effect could be jitteriness or anxiety. Identifying stimulants beyond basic caffeine on pre-workout labels can be tricky. Examples include synephrine, theobromine, yohimbe, which can have potent energizing and fat burning effects. However, I found that these pre-workouts containing these additional stimulants often left me feeling jittery or anxious. For those sensitive to caffeine like myself, it's crucial to check for these additional stimulants in pre-workout ingredients, as they may heighten the risk of this jitteriness. It's important to note that not everyone will experience all these side effects. You may experience some or all, it depends. The best strategy is to take half of a serving to assess your tolerance. It's also important to pay close attention to the ingredient labels on your products. Some products describe one serving as being 1 scoop. Other brands describe one serving as being a half a scoop. Make sure that you know which serving size you are taking. To overcome some of these tolerance and addiction issues with long-term pre-workout use, here are my best advice. Don't use pre-workout for every workout. Maybe go 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day with caffeine, 1 day with a pump product. Totally up to you, but I wouldn't recommend pre-workout for every workout. Number 2, pair stimulant-based products with stimulant-free products. I like to add, let's say, Ghost pre-workout, their stim version, with Ghost Pump, their non-stim, the L-citrulline, the nitric oxide boosters. Pair them together, see how it goes. And number 3, try cycling off pre-workout. Try going for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks of pre-workout, probably around 4 to 8 weeks. Cycle off, take 2 weeks off, 4 weeks off, and then go back to it. For those wondering how to pick a pre-workout, I've developed a list of basic criteria that you can use to assess which product may work best for you. Decide on your goal. Fat loss, muscle gain, aerobic performance, strength, power, etc. Identify the key ingredients. Ensure that the doses of these ingredients are clinically effective, meaning that they are dosed high enough to have a positive effect. Decide on your caffeine level. This ranges from a completely stimulant-free to moderate, 100 to 200, or high, 300 to 400. Identify certifications. This could mean finding an NSF or Informed Sport certified product, or a certified vegan product, etc. And lastly, don't be afraid of making your own pre-workouts, which you can actually learn more about in my DIY pre-workout review. In that video, I give formulas for strength, for pump, for mental focus, for fat burning, for muscle gain, and for cardio. For any of your fitness goals, I probably have one for you. Go check it out now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.